So you might think that your relationship with the narcissist is over. Sure, they're not talking to you, you guys have parted ways, they've gone silent. You're kind of thinking, well, what actually is going on? You might even realize that, okay, maybe it is indeed over. Maybe there's even a glimpse of peace. And maybe you're like, okay, so I'm actually moving on with my life. Today, in this video, I just want to explain that the narcissist silence isn't just silence. No, my friends, because there's a whole nother episode that is going to be happening and that is going to be unfolding. Wondering what it is, find yourself in this situation? Watch this video. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well. So many of you have commented in the comments in the video. So many of you have got in contact with me, kind of asking me like what actually is going on. The silence, is this a test? What is going to happen next? Is this a power move? Is this more manipulation? Is it likely that this person will be coming back? And so I have been called to make this video because of your comments, because of your questions. And I really want to make this video because I'm just thinking, do you know what? I know that so many of you are stuck in this thought pattern thinking that the narcissist is done with you and you're never going to hear from them again. And I know on one hand, that is exactly kind of like you're thinking, yeah, this is it. Like, I don't actually want to have anything to do with this person. I am actually done. I don't want to hear from them anymore. And then on the other hand, it's like, no, but I really actually want them back. I really want to kind of understand what has gone on, what's gone down. But this is the thing. This is that cycle that you're caught in. It's that mind trap. Well, what actually is going to happen next? Because they're not talking to me, but I know that I've read somewhere that they do come back, or you do hear from them. How many times have they gone silent and then they have come back? So there's a whole aspect to this. And so this is what I really wanted to kind of explore in this video and make it a little bit more, to help you to understand what actually is going to happen next. Now, what I will say to you is that what I'm talking about here is rather more general. So what will happen is more kind of like specific to your situation. So I hope that some of these points that I'm going to be raising in this video are going to help you and help you to make sense of actually what is going on. So let's get into the video. The first thing that you have to remember is that the disappearance isn't the end. It's actually data collection. Oh yes, my friends, it is data collection. When a narcissist goes silent, okay, it's rarely because they've moved on. It might seem like that. They've gone completely silent. You're not hearing from them. You might even be watching on their social media and you're seeing that they are having the time of their life. They might be going out partying. You might even catch a glimpse of them with somebody new. But it doesn't always mean the thing that you think that it will mean. They're actually watching for your reaction, and that's what they're doing. They're staying silent to kind of look to see how you are going to react. Now, this is actually, if you really think about it, quite a power move, because if they stay silent, they don't need to say anything to you. They don't need to behave in a certain way. They just stay silent. And what they're doing is they are observing you. How are you going to react? How are you going to behave without this person in your life? And so this is what they are doing. They're gathering information, watching you to see how you are going to behave. Now, for you, this is excruciating because you don't know what's going on. For you, it is challenging because you don't know what you're actually meant to do. Are you meant to move on? Are you meant to stay silent? What actually are you supposed to be doing? So it leaves you in this limbo, and it's a very uncomfortable limbo that you're in because nothing is being said, nothing is being done, but you are left to the devices of your own mind and what is going on. You probably even reach out to find out, are we together? You want clarification, but you see the narcissist purposely does not give you anything like that. just to see how you are going to behave. To the narcissist, your reaction becomes emotional currency. Oh yes, my friends, if you panic, they know that they still hold power because you still love them. You are still willing to be in this dynamic regardless of the conditions, which means that you still love them, which means that you still care about them, which means that they know how you feel without them saying a word or asking you a question. If you break the silence, if you reach out to them, you're under the spell. They know you care. They know that they matter to you. And this isn't love, my friends. This is a psychological experiment. Because if you really think about it, how can someone stop talking to you, especially if you love this person, you care about this person, and then you just stop talking? What is that about? Why does that person stop talking to you? Because that is the sad thing. You don't do that. So this is where it becomes more sinister, more of an experiment that's going on to test you to see how you feel about them. The next thing I want to look at is the power play behind the silence. The narcissistic silence isn't emptiness. No, my friends, it's communication. Oh yeah, my friends, it's communication. Everything that they do is inverted. And it says that I control when you get attention. So basically, they're in control of the whole scenario, the whole experience for you. Because if they are holding back, they are controlling your emotions, aren't they? They are still manipulating how you feel. The silence becomes a weapon because it activates your trigger. It's going to trigger you for your abandonment wounds. It's going to trigger your anxiety. It's going to trigger your need for closure, for your explanation of what is going on, because you don't want to be in limbo. But you see, in all of this, you are the one that has the power. You are the one that holds the key, because number one, it is triggering your abandonment wound, but they're not really abandoning you. This is the illusion. They're not abandoning you because they're still kind of there. They're stepping back to see how you interact with this silence, what you do with what is going on. But in your mind, this is triggering your abandonment, which in turn then triggers your anxiety. So you don't really need to be feeling this because they haven't gone, which then also makes you question that you need closure. You need understanding because you're in limbo. You don't know what you're doing, but actually you could step away. And I know this is easier said than done because, like, when you're looking at this in hindsight or when you're out of that situation, yes, of course, you're going to be thinking that because it is easier for you to see it from the outside looking in. But when you're in it, when you're experiencing that, that is the hardest bit. But can you see how all of this is an illusion? This is about rising above all of this and actually you choosing what is right and what is good for you. But at that time when you're in it, you can't do that because it is really challenging. It's really upsetting for you. And they know that this uncertainty is actually torturous for you, more torturous than actual words, because the silence keeps you in the limbo because you don't know what you're doing, whether you're coming or going. But in the meantime, what hurts you the most and what they are thinking is this person can go silent on you and they don't care or they don't worry about the fact that you're going to be walking away because they know that you still care. And so it's kind of like them kind of stepping back and looking to see how you will handle yourself in this scenario. It's really quite sinister. When they come back, the final move. When the narcissist comes back, most of the time they do come back. And I'm going to talk a little bit later why they don't come back. They come back in most cases. I would say in 85% of the time, they will be actually coming back. But what you have to understand is when the narcissist reappears, it's not to reconnect. It's to reestablish dominance. Yes, my friends, it's not about that they have realized the error of their ways and that they are so sorry for what they have done and that they want you to forgive them and they realize how much they actually love you. It's not about that, my friends. What it is about is control, and it's about manipulating you into that. They'll often say things like, I've been thinking about you. I've missed you so much. Why did this even ever happen? I miss the connection that we had. Yeah, this sounds great. Okay, this sounds great, but they don't mean any of it. And what actually is happening is they're resetting this power dynamic, because you know why, my friends? Because they are telling you what you want to hear. They are telling you what they want you to hear, so that you get caught back in this dynamic. Yes, it's not a return, it's not a reunion, it is a reestablishment of power. Usually, and I get it, this is so confusing, because usually when someone comes back after a long period of silence, or you've had an argument, you've been upset, okay, and this person comes back and you're like so happy that you see this person. And usually it means that this person is sorry for what they have done, sorry that they had made you feel a certain way, sorry that this relationship had ever gone this way. And of course, you can be tricked into thinking that that is what is happening, but not with a narcissist, my friends, not with a narcissist, not with these particular type of individuals. This is not what is happening. Okay, you have to see the wood from the trees, because this is all about emotional control and how to establish that over you. You have to be able to help yourself here, because honestly, this is the illusion. All right, you're believing the illusion. And what you need to do is not betray your boundaries and see it for what it really is. Okay, I know you crave this person, and I know that it's so hard to let go of them. But what you're going to do, trick yourself into thinking that this person actually cares about you, when they don't. They care about themselves. Because if someone cared about you, they'd never put you in a position where they would lose you. So let's look at the psychology behind the test. This behavior comes from narcissistic supply, okay, and their need for this attention. It's actually an addiction that the narcissist has. They can't tolerate the idea of you completely detaching and going. So losing control of you for them means rejection. Okay, they can't take it, and rejection triggers the narcissistic injury. So if they allow you to go so far, but they're always going to be pulling you back in. And that is to do with the attachment disorder. And I talk about this a lot in the videos. Okay, so they're going to let you go so far to test you, but they're always going to be pulling you back in. So instead of facing that, the loyalty, that you stay loyal to this person, that's the test. That's how they are testing how much you care, how much you are willing to take of this silence. This, my friends, all of this is projection. Okay, they silence you to avoid their own fear, because they have a fear of being forgotten. And what is that? That's all about rejection as well, isn't it? They're afraid of that happening to them. And that's why the silence always feels so confusing, because what it's designed to do is keep you emotionally tethered while they appear detached. And what it's doing, this is all about power dynamics, my friends. It's always about power dynamics. And that's really what is going on. If you have enjoyed this video and it has helped you, please know that I do offer one-to-one consultations. If you are interested, please see the description box below, because this is about breaking that cycle. This is about seeing the bigger picture, seeing it for what it is. When they disappear, okay, this isn't about chasing, this is about you observing. I'm going to talk more about how to break the cycle in a separate video. So I'm going to link it here so that you can watch it, and you can kind of understand what is going on and get more understanding. But guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.